In the business report, given the challenges of climate change and the post-COVID reality, the logistics industry and supply of goods coming in and out of the country may be affected. Chairman of Kingston Wharves, Jeffrey Hall, gave us his take on the changes to the logistics industry.
We are here with Jeffrey Hall, who among his many titles is Chairman of Kingston Wharves Limited. And this is very important because we know that the amalgamated companies that Mr. Hall has connection to are global in their outlook. And we wanted to find out, Mr. Hall, your views on the impact of the weather and climate change on the supply of goods coming through Kingston Wharves or any other port, really. And will we experience the same backlog in a hurricane season as we did in COVID?
So if you look at the macro level of the shipping industry, over the last 10 years or so, at a global level, there's been a consolidation of shipping lines. So instead of having a plethora or multitude of shipping lines and carriers of cargo, there are now fewer, larger groups or carriers of cargo. And what that means is that the industry is held on a tighter leash, and disruptions or adverse events, be they weather events like Beryl, be they public health events like COVID, be they geopolitical events like the war in the Middle East or in Ukraine, those things in the current environment disrupt the shipping line's capacity. And as a consequence, there's more volatility in the pricing because price is the lever that they use now when they don't have capacity. So I think that users of shipping lines, which essentially in a trade-dependent economy like ours is almost everybody, have to account for more volatility if there are adverse events. The view of this hurricane season is that it'll be one of the most active on record. And so that is a climatic factor you can reasonably expect to affect shipping. And I think it is wise for industry players to maintain relatively high inventory levels to weather that disruption, because there's price, but there's also availability. Prior to the hurricane season, there were some disruptions which are climate related as well in the Panama Canal, and there were some disruptions in the Red Sea that affected the Suez Canal. And so as a consequence, there was a bringing down of inventory levels and there was an increase in shipping costs going into this period. And so I think people are trying to recover from that while facing the hurricane risk. And so I think business owners, business operators should plan for volatility and plan for supply chain risks during the hurricane season.
Well, there you have it. We've been advised. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Time now for the market updates with Denise Williams.
During trading for the period of August 5, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The following companies represent the overall volume leaders. One-on-One Educational Services Limited with 7,379,660 units, representing 29.09% of the market value in terms of sales. Dollar Financial Services Limited with 4,680,733 units, representing 18.45% of the market value in terms of sales. Omni Industries Limited with 2,904,506 units, representing 11.45% of the market value in terms of sales. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies on the stock market, we turn to the Forex market. On August 2, 2022, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $61 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $64.9 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.74 and bought the US dollar for $155.99. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.75, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $6.39 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold for $115.18 and bought for $108.79. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $8.77, selling it for $203.57 and buying it for $194.80. For the credit report tip of the day, we want to look at extended unemployment and how that can take a toll on your credit. However, you can rebuild, and it is entirely possible with a focused approach. So here's some suggestions for you. Build an emergency fund. Save even a very small amount regularly to create an emergency fund. This will act as a financial buffer and prevent future setbacks from impacting your credit. Then we recommend you make timely payments. As much as possible, pay all your bills on time. Set up automatic payments or reminders to avoid missing due dates, as timely payments are crucial for rebuilding credit.